Hello, sir. Can we know you?
My name is Osagi Agonta.
Okay, you are welcome to Sideline Media. Let me get your view because currently we have a situation where a presidential aide who was seconded to the office of the vice president, talking about Baba Ahmed, resigned. And the North is saying, why did you resign? That it goes to show that Shettima is being sidelining the government. Because currently, Shettima seems not to be visible in places of governance. His activities have been very low in terms of public outing, and these are got people talking. I just had a conversation with someone who said the North should not complain because they did it in the past. But let me get a
see, I want to correct that person. I'm very sorry. There's nothing like the North have done in the past. Nigeria is agitating to join the BRICS nation. Shettima represented Nigeria. It was Tinubu that is supposed to be there. I could see Shettima in the United Nations the other day, representing Nigeria. That was the work of the presidency. So how are you saying he's being sidelined?
There's a narrative out there in the North.
See, let me tell you what they did to Oshibajo. Oshibajo's 38 essays were removed from their offices. And how do you Oshibajo never come out one day to say he has been marginalized?
No, it's not as if Shettima is not saying it. But beyond this, let me drag you to the area of the statement that came from Shouth.
Okay.
Shouth acknowledged that someone like El-Rufai played a pivotal role in the emergence of Tinubu as the president, and that El-Rufai needed to be given a fair treatment more than what he's getting from the presidency currently. What's your take?
Well, I'm a Christian. The Bible says many are called, but few are choosing. Was it the only one? What about in the days of when Saraki and co worked for APC? Were they not sidelined? It's not about, we can have, in politics, you can have permanent friends. You just have temporary enemies. And El-Rufai's son is in the House of Rep. In Kano State. What more slot is he looking for? This song is...
Let me bring this to your knowledge. Perhaps you are aware, because El-Rufai at the point was designated as a minister. Of course, he was nominated. But as you have it, he was not cleared. But El-Rufai came out the other time to say that it was not the security report that indicted him as claimed by the presidency, that at the point that Tinubu changed his mind and never wanted him in his cabinet. Do you think, if that is true anyway, do you think Tinubu was justified after receiving help from El-Rufai to drop him?
What kind of help did El-Rufai? El-Rufai is one man, one vote. How can his vote win Kaduna State for Tinubu? And moreover, during Obasanjo, El-Rufai was a minister. What was his input being a minister of the FTC? And two, is it only El-Rufai that is in the country? Now, a lot of people are on this race. We have now people who are more qualified than him. He had been a governor for 8 years. Crying out loud to run a state like Kano. I believe there must be some fatigue, and at that point, Tinubu really loved El-Rufai. That was why Tinubu asked El-Rufai to go and rest. So it's not about...
Okay, in the instance of who needed more rest, Tinubu and El-Rufai?
Yes. Now, since Tinubu...
Considering their age?
Yes, since they are almost the same age. Since Tinubu, about 25 years ago, was the governor of Lagos State, has he held any political...
So he has rested enough?
He has rested enough.
Now, let's look at the crack in APC. Okay. When they said that there were some insinuation that the CPC bloc was planning to pull out of APC. Though Almakura have come out to debunk that impression. But before that, before Almakura came out, they were report from a leaked memo how the presidency have planned to draft Almakura to come and play the role he just played. And secondly, that there is a plan to even make Almakura the substantive APC national chairman as a way of persuading the CPC bloc in the APC. And we have seen so many Northerners who have made it very clear that voting for Tinubu in 2023 was a mistake. And they say they don't hope to repeat in 2027. Particular reference is Dr. Gada Galolo, who have been very vocal about this. What's your take?
Well, the Northerners have always been clamoring to rule this country, and if you check in the tables of the people who have ruled Nigeria since the inception of the independence, the Northerners have done it more. And you know, one of the problems that what really brings problem in Nigeria, so let's just tell you, is what they call quota system. You give a higher quota system because you people were in the military era, and you now give about 70% to the north, and the south, whereby you have more educated elites, you now give them 30%. Then when you are not trying to bring out the best in the east to work with the best in the north will have maybe class 5 certificate or NCE. And you will now compare a professor to work under a primary 6 or somebody who claims to have NCE, being the director or permanent secretary of a government parastatal. Then when the professor is trying to come out with his expertise, then this other person starts to frustrate the professor because he feels marginalized. For the very first time, it was Professor Yemi Oshibajo that conducted a general and genuine test exam for promotion, and that was why his essay were removed. So you see, the moment we continue to talk about quota system, these are the main problem. Now, this quota system have made mostly the Northerners to politics, whereby somebody will go to school, will be not one of the best, and will believe that as long as the quota system protects me, I will be ahead of them. Let them be reading.
So you are talking about mediocrity being promoted and go meritocracy.
Yes.
Meritocracy.
Yes.
But let us look at the song that was released by Idris Abdulkarim. Remember that the NBC, Nigerian Broadcasting Commission, have since banned it in all Nigerian television and radio stations. But these are got people talking, and as we have it, the Nobel laureate Professor Woloshoyinka is among those that criticize NBC banning that song. According to Woloshoyinka, he said he even envy Abdulkarim. But the major message is Sheyi, tell your papa. Is NBC justified to abandon the song?
You see, sometimes banning songs, you ban it, but they can access it from the internet.
No, let us look at the angle of NBC action.
You see,
are they justified?
You see, I'm not in that position to, or my opinion to say whether they are justified or not. If I do so, there are other things they have banned. You understand me? There are other songs that were banned. So if this one is also banned, I can't say they are not justified.
No, I said in the light of the message the song
they have their own
in the light of the message the song we're trying to convey. Sheyi, tell your papa Nigerians are hungry. Tell your papa there is insecurity. These are messages, if not true song, Nigerians from across board have put across to Mr. President. I repeat the question. If you choose not to run away from the question, is NBC justified?
Well, NBC are justified in their own sense, and they have a body and constitution, and I'm not in any way to correct their constitution. So if their constitution says they should ban it, well, it is well good for them. You understand? So, but the point I'm still going to make is that NBC should look into things, these messages critically, because the more you ban, the more the musicians excel.
I must say every time for your time. We hope to have you next time.
Thank you very much.
This is Satellite Media and Mr. Martin. What's for you, Mr.
Osage Agbonta.
Thank you very much.
I'm the only one in the whole world that bears that name.
But before I let you go, perhaps I should ask you a question about the issue of insecurity in your state. And say you are from Edo,
yes,
judging by your name.
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the way Monde Olo has handled the case? Because currently we understand that the local vigilante, they have withdrawn all their arms and suspended the activities in the state. And currently we are seeing the new Director General of DSS, Dr. Badajayi, advocating for community policing as a way to solve this perennial issue of Fulani herders, or rather Fulani militia invading communities and killing of people.
Okay, look at my face very well. My immediate senior brother was attacked by this Fulani. He is a student of Ekoma. I'm talking about early 2000. He was attacked. Now, between Uromi and Igwebe, there is a lonely part there. They rob there on a daily basis.
Between Uromi and Igwebe?
Yes, they rob there every day.
Why I'm laying this emphasis so that the authorities can hear it.
I said between Uromi and Igwebe, they rob between 6 p.m. and late in the night. They rob on a daily basis. You understand me? Now, where is their safe havens? Well, after robbing, I will tell you. They hide, you see, in that very terrain. You have Uromi, you have Ugbegu, you have Igwebe, you have Ebele, you have Ebosa, you have Udo, you have Ebokimi, you have Iruekpe. You understand? Now, you see, these places, these communities or towns that I have mentioned, it surrounds a particular settlement where Nigeria, where the natives of those places can no longer go to farm. Now, what will they do? You don't drive away darkness. You bring light, darkness will go. I challenge the authority of Edo State, the governor of Edo State, to go to where they call Egbela. There's a waterfall there in the center. Let them go and create a security, or they should create a dam there. Let there be the presence of the government in that place. I tell you, there will be no such things happening within that area.
Because personally, I saw video of some youths from Asia Axis of Edo State. Asia. Who were going to the bush to rescue some of their village members who were kidnapped, and they said they are around Anapete, from what I heard from that video, and they were just with their bare hands, no gun. They were even pleading that if the governor can provide them with their gun, that they will be satisfied and comfortable with it. But as speak, they had no gun to do that with.
Well, I am not there. You are not there. We don't know off camera what is going on, but I am not saying they have or they don't have. But the question is, for you to even have ammunition, you should be trained on that ammunition. I will not be in support for government to just hand over ammunition to an individual, because it intoxicates. You understand what I'm saying? But what I will say, and what I will say again, is let there be a farm settlement in those places. Let there be government activities in those places. Then these very individuals, whether voluntarily or they will be employed, should be well trained under the paramilitary gaze, so that they can now be empowered with such under supervision.
I will let you go, but before I do that, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Because we are seeing the lynching of 16 persons from Kano, which have been proved to be hunters according to the authorities. After that, we have seen the arrest of about 4 persons in Edo State recently. According to the police, that their preliminary investigation proved that these are hunters. And people are arguing that if you are licensed to hunt in Kano, does that license permit you to move with the gun to Edo State? And why is Edo State the target? Because currently you are saying that you will not encourage people to bear arms without regulation. That is right. But to what extent is gun that is coming from Kano in the name of hunting from Kano use into Edo State being regulated?
Well, to even start with, like I said, I'm from Edo State. I know Ekenwa Forest. I know Gene Forest. those are very vast forests in Edo State, and these are forest reserves. So you are not supposed to go there to hunt. Likewise, other parts of Edo State, most of them are forest reserves. So where are you going to hunt in this forest reserve? So that anybody taking up ammunition, I think it should be restricted within their locality or their homes. So bringing it even across. Now, one thing I want to find out again is, what were the checking points from Kano to Edo? Were there no police checking points?
I think that is the question for police to answer.
Or there was nothing?
No, that question should be directed to Nigerian police.
So, and it's even a shame whereby it is the local vigilante that were able to fish out this. I think those guys, the federal government should recruit them and give them further training in order to let them know not to take laws into their hands.
I must say very thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
This is a good place to let it go.
Thank you.